Good evening. President Trump has tonight likened the rise in knife crime in London to a war zone. In a speech that is sure to reignite the war of words between him and the capital's Mayor Sadiq Khan, he told members of the NRA gun lobby he had read about a prestigious hospital in the capital saying they don't have guns, they have knives, and instead there's blood all over the floors. But it wasn't just the UK he had a go at. He also criticised France, blaming their gun laws for the terror attacks there.
After a tumultuous week in Washington, Donald Trump flew today to the friendliest crowd that exists for his brand of raw politics.
The 45th President of the United States of America, Donald Trump.
And while addressing the National Rifle Association and reassuring its members of his commitment to their gun rights, he turned to the situation in London as it battles increasing knife crime. Remember, this is the city he will be visiting in just 2 months.
I recently read a story that in London, which has unbelievably tough gun laws, a once very prestigious hospital, right in the middle, is like a war zone for horrible stabbing wounds. Yes, that's right. They don't have guns. They have knives. And instead, there's blood all over the floors of this hospital. They say it's as bad as a military war zone hospital. Knives, knives, knives. London hasn't been used to that. They're getting used to it. It's pretty tough.
And then he turned to Paris and the tragic events of November 2015. When there were coordinated terrorist attacks on targets there, including on the Bataclan Theatre. Trump using the death of 130 people as an argument against the tightening of gun laws.
They were brutally killed by a small group of terrorists that had guns. They took their time and gunned them down one by one. Boom! Come over here. Boom! Come over here. Boom! But if one employee or just one patron had a gun, or if one person in this room had been there with a gun aimed at the opposite direction, the terrorists would have fled or been shot. And it would have been a whole different story. I mean, right?
Using London and Paris as arguments for his pro-gun agenda will strike many as offensive. Not least because there have been 414 mass shootings in America since he became president, including the attacks in Las Vegas and on the Parkland School in Florida. And after the Toronto vehicle attack last month, he mockingly made this suggestion tonight.
We are going to have to outlaw immediately all vans and all trucks, which are now the new form of death for the maniac terrorists, right? They take a truck and they run over 8 people and wound 16, like what happened in New York and what just happened. It's happening all over. So let's ban immediately all trucks, all vans, maybe all cars. How about cars? Let's not sell any more cars. Not bad.
Trump was, of course, there addressing a wildly partisan and pro-gun audience. But French and British politicians are unlikely to be impressed by the implication of what he was saying, that US-style gun laws would help tackle crime and terrorism on the streets of Europe. Robert Moore, News at 10, Washington.
Our political correspondent Carl Dinnan is here with me now. Let's concentrate on one British politician then, the Mayor Sadiq Khan. Look, we know these two have clashed before. Is he likely to take the bait this time?
No, tonight Sadiq Khan isn't commenting on this, perhaps wisely, although, as you say, they have clashed in the past. Donald Trump was critical of the London mayor after the London Bridge attacks, and Sadiq Khan has said of Donald Trump that Londoners have made it clear Donald Trump is not welcome here. But of course, Donald Trump is coming here. He's coming here in a couple of months on the 13th of July. Protests are already expected, and I don't think what he said today will do anything to calm that situation down.
Look, President Trump tonight has described a London hospital as a military war zone. Where do we think he's got this from?
There is speculation that he may have picked this up from a right-wing website that has been carrying comments made by a surgeon at Bart's NHS Trust last month, who said that some of his military colleagues have described the practice here as similar to Camp Bastion in Afghanistan. So there is some foundation. He hasn't just made it up. And of course, we know that violent crime and the murder rate in the capital is running high at the moment. At one point, it was as high as the murder rate in New York. Although it's got to be said, the London murder rate per head of population isn't always even the highest in the UK. So it'd be wrong to typify it as being in some way out of control. It's high at the moment. But I think that there is no serious politician that I've ever heard that would agree with Donald Trump's implication, which is that somehow adding guns into the mix would in any way make the situation better.
Carl Din, thank you very much. Thank you.